Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Monique's Nail Station, the Nail Artist Academy. So, today is Module 7, and well done for getting here so far. All right, without further ado, let's get going. So, today we are doing application of gel enhancements. Very, very exciting. Okay, so let's just go to our next slide. Let me move me again out the way. All right, so remember, we have to do our prep with tips, okay? So this is a preparation tip application. Apply a thin coat and cure under the UV lamp in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions, 30 or 60 seconds under a UV lamp. If you apply the gel too thick, it will ripple and lift and will not cure properly. Undercuring of the base gel can cause the natural nail to lift off the nail bed, known as onycholysis. Make sure to cap the free edge so that the gel does not shrink. All right. So very, very important is your base, okay, application as well. So I'm going to show you again. Let's just get you bigger. Hold on. Okay. So let's have a look. We want to make sure we are all right. So let's start with gel application. So again, our prep, which we've already prepped this nail in our last video, as you remember, we are going to push back the cuticles, get rid of all the dead keratin on the natural nail. We're going to roughen up the natural nail, and I'm roughening it up with the grain of the nail and not against the grain of the nail, making sure that all the shine is removed. Then we are going to cleanse the nail. Okay, we're going to let that dry. For this demonstration, I'm using Arctic Ice. So you would have a nail prep, would be your first one. So you're going to prepare the nail, dehydrate the nail, and then you're going to be using your Ultra Bond. This is a non-acid primer. So you get acid primers and non-acid primers. So I'm going to take my nail prep and I'm going to prep that whole nail. So I'm changing the pH balance of that nail. Then we are going to use Ultra Bond. So we're going to use our non-acid primer. Remember, this sticks like glue. So, also not to get contact dermatitis, it's always important to not touch the skin area with any of your primers. You are just going to be putting it onto the natural nail regrowth area or the natural nail itself. All right, never touch the cuticle areas with or the skin with any chemicals. Remember, we are working with chemicals. All right, and then for this application, I am going to be using, this is called the Proline Cover Pink. So it's a builder gel. All right, it's a builder gel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an easy off base gel to start off with. And you can see this base gel is a very runny base gel. All right, so you've got to be very careful that you don't let the product run into your cuticle area. Just another tip and tricks. When it comes to all your brushes, you know, you can only be as good as your tools. And what I did was, so for gel glitter polish, I put a bit of gel glitter polish on the end of my brush, put a bit of top coat and cured that in the UV lamp, so I know that that is a glitter brush. Then I've got a brush with a colored bit of gel that I've put onto the end of my brush, not on the lid because you could lose the lid. So I put it on the end of the brush. And then I have got clear, which I know is for building. So mark your brushes so that while you're working, it's quick and easy to find the brush that you need. All right. So in this aspect, we are going to use the clear brush for the natural nail. Remember to, when you're cleaning your gel brush, don't use acetone and things like that because it will just, the actual brush itself will get too dry and porous. So I always keep a certain amount of gel onto and condition my brush with the gel. Okay, so now we are going to apply that. You can see this is a very runny gel. Can you see how very runny it is? All right, so we are going to apply a little amount to the natural nail. So let me show you. Can we see? All right, so I'm going to cap the free edge. I'm going to pick up that bead. I'm going to put it up towards the cuticle area, making sure I don't flood that cuticle area. Bring it down the side walls like that. Make sure you got all the sides. Remember that wherever you place your gel, this is going to tell the next layer where to go. All right, so it's very important your base gel, how you apply it. All right, you could apply your apex in your base gel in your application, but we are going to do that afterwards. We are actually going to be doing like a fill here. So now I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds in the UV lamp. Okay, now we got a bit sticky. Gel is very sticky, guys. So just always make sure to not get all sticky all over your desk. All right, so we have then basically, to recap, we've pushed back the cuticle area, we have removed all the dead keratin from the nail plate, we've removed the shine, we've sterilized the nail, we've put our dehydrator or nail prep onto the nail, and then we have done our Ultra Bond, which is our non-acid primer, to the natural nail, and then we have applied a base coat to the natural nail. All right. After we've done this, you could, if you wanted to protect a very weak nail, you could apply the base coat, maybe 2 layers if it's very thin, and then apply a tip on top of that. In our advanced training, we will be doing sculpting as well. All right, so now that's come out of the UV lamp. Now we are going to be using a builder gel, and it is always important that when you open up a pot of gel, that the color seeps to the bottom. So always give it a good stir before you apply that gel. All right, you can see this gel, because it's a builder, is much more thicker in viscosity than the base gel. Okay, so now I'm just wiping off the excess, and I'm going to wipe the little spatula because I don't want that to dry on the nail. Always keep your pots closed because you don't want any light, UV lights or anything to get in there and cure the product, and always make sure that it's away from the UV lamp. All right, so in this event, we are going to now apply, this is called a slip layer, to the nail. So it makes it easy when you're applying the product on top to blend that through, because remember the gel follows you wherever you go. All right, so now we've got a slip layer there. This one we are going to do so in this event, if you were just going to be doing your base coat, you would then put 2 coats of gel polish and you'd be done. In this event, we are going to be doing a fill. So I've taken a bead on one side of the nail. I'm going to roll it off onto the nail itself. Okay, I'm going to cushion it up to the cuticle area, and I'm going to be working very, very lightly. I'm turning my brush from side to side. So now I'm creating my apex from side to side, bringing that gel down the nail, and then I'm just going to brush it lightly over the free edge. So I'm literally working in the air and capping the free edge. The other thing that you can do, which is actually a very, very nice tool, is a tool like this. You can simply just clean up around the cuticle area if you have any seepage. Another trick as well is to use a brush like this, which is an apex brush, and you can literally just make sure that all your gel is down the sides with this little brush. So we're just pulling that gel down the sides. The light will tell you where there's gel and where there's not gel. All right, always check before you put in the UV lamp. All right, so now we are going to apply this in the UV lamp for 60 seconds. So that is how you would actually do a fill. So the bulk of the product is actually at the cuticle area. All right, and that would then cure. Another thing that is very, very important. There's a lot of different brands out there, and it's very important to not mix products, because when you mix products, remember, it's all chemicals. That particular brand has been designed to work in conjunction with each other. When you start mixing, you are creating a weaker foundation for the nail. And remember, you can't build a strong house on a weak foundation. So always stick to one brand and don't mix your products, because then you're just asking for trouble. The only thing that I would say that you could use in different brands is maybe top coats, because already the actual enhancement is done. But when it comes to the enhancement, you make sure that you use the brand, the manufacturer's criteria for that. Very, very important to do that. Okay, so we've come out of the UV lamp. Let's have a look here. All right, so now we have a sticky layer on top. Now, you noticed when I put the base coat, I did not wipe it off, okay, because you want that stickiness for the product, the product to adhere to the top. So this being a builder gel, I have built my apex, all right, and it's quite smooth all the way around. I actually don't even need to even buff on top of that. We can literally just take the sticky layer off with your cleanser, and again, it's away from the cuticle area. All right, and you can see that now. If you are going to paint your nail, you would then take your colored gel and you hold the bottle upside down and just roll it in your fingers. Don't shake it, because you don't want bubbles in the nail. All right, and we are going to paint this nail. So what you're going to do is we're going to cap the free edge. All right, I'm going to pick up that gel and I'm going to go towards the cuticle area, and remember to apply thin. Do not apply too thick, because you're going to have crinkling and all kinds of problems. In our last module, we will cover troubleshooting of gel. All right. So can you see I'm sort of feathering it? I'm feathering it onto the nail. All right. So you would feather it, so you're floating it over the nail. And now we will cure that for 60 seconds. So you could do 2 coats and then a top coat. So it would be your prep, base coat, and then 2 coats of colored gel, and then a top coat, like a gloss or a matte finish. So you get different top gels, you get top coats, you get matte, and you get shiny or glossy. So just depending on what you want to, what look you want to achieve. All right. So now that is going to be curing. Let's continue with our slide. If we go into our next slide, that's with the tip. Okay, I need to move me across. All right, so here I'm just repeating because I was not sure what we have to cover, but you do not wipe your base gel. All right, apply a second coat to cap the free edge and aid in your strengthening layer. The second coat acts as a slip layer, making it easier to apply your strengthening layer. My recommendation is to do one nail at a time so that the gel does not flood the cuticle and the side walls. Always wipe along the side walls to avoid seepage. So all of these notes are in your book, but I just want to go and reiterate and recap on certain things. So you would wipe your nail with cleanser or acetone. Gently buff to remove any highs and lows. So if you feel that your application was highs and lows, you could gently buff with a block file, because it's a lighter grit. It's like a 240 grit. And then you could apply your color on top of that. All right, and then a thin coat of a top coat. All right, let's see. Gel to be used for different nail lengths. Okay, so this is actually very, very important, because extremely long nails with just a plain gel, if it wasn't naturally strong, it's not going to hold very well. So you need to have a stronger enhancement. And how it works is your acrylic is the strongest, okay, the most porous. Then you've got what's called a polygel, but that is a brand name. Everyone knows it as polygel. It's actually a hybrid gel, which is a combination of gel and acrylic. All right. So for very long nails, if you are going to be doing enhancements, and you want those nails strong, remember to use either, depending on the client how heavy she is with her hands, you could either use your acrylic, your polygel, or your hard gel. Your hard gel nails that cannot be soaked off will give a better flexibility. Medium length nails, medium gel should be used. The more flexible the natural nail is, the more flexible a gel you need, because if you've got a strong product on the nail and the natural nail is very flexible, it's going to move underneath and you're going to have lifting problems. So always check the nail, the actual natural nail, how flexible it is by pressing the free edge to see how flexible it is, because you want to have a flexible base so that everything that's on top is going to move with the product. All right, you cannot go and put a soft gel and then an acrylic on top of that, because the soft gel is going to move and the hard gel is just going to be too hard. You can, however, reverse it and start off, say, with your acrylic, and then you want to fill it with a hard gel and grow it out. You could most definitely do that. All right. Short nails, people want natural nails, just a normal, easy soak off base coat with 2 coats of gel polish on top and a top coat is sufficient enough for shorter nails. But when you're doing enhancements, it's very important to choose the right product. All right, now we are going to do the gel polish application. All right, so again, we are just recapping. You're going to wipe the natural nail with your alcohol. So I normally make my own, which is about, I use a 90 or an 80% isopropyl alcohol with 10% of acetone in it, and I make my own. Some suppliers do supply it already for you. So make sure that you cleanse that nail and all the dust, because you don't know what bacteria is sitting in those dust particles. Okay, you've got to remove the dead keratin, pushing back the cuticles, remove the shine, wipe with the nail solution, apply your nail prep to the free edge only if you want it easy to soak off. So you apply your primer to the free edge and not to the rest of the nail if you want an easy soak off in acetone. All right, so I am going to show you how to paint your nails evenly. So if you look at this here, here is a picture of how you are going to paint your nails evenly. Let's go back and let's put another coat on this nail. One moment, please. Okay, so let's look at this. So remember, we put 1 coat of gel polish on this nail. Now we need to put a second coat. So let's look at this again. This is always look to see your color. Some colors are thicker than others. This is quite a thin gel, so be careful not to flood the cuticles. And I always suggest to do 1 or 2 fingers at a time, all right, so that you don't flood your cuticle area. So now we are applying our second coat. Again, I'm going to cap the free edge. I'm going to wipe the gel along the free edge area, making sure that it's kept in. Then I'm going to take my brush and get as close as I can to the cuticle area, and I'm tapping and making sure the side walls are covered. And we're going to do the same on the other side, and I'm tapping, and then I'm just feathering it down the middle. All right, I'm just feathering it down the middle. Take your cleaning tool, either you use an orange stick or a little tool like this. Clean around the cuticle area and cure in the UV lamp in accordance to the manufacturer's instructions. Okay. All right, let's see where we're at. So you can see on this picture here how to paint evenly. We cap the free edge, we pick that up, we work on the cuticle area, you work from side to side, and then we feather down the middle. All right, so let's look at base coats. We have to understand base coats. There are many different types of base coats on the market, and it's important to know which is the right one to use for different nail types and nail lifestyles and conditions. Okay, so we have a rubber base. So I don't know if you've heard the term before, rubber base. Rubber base is a thicker viscosity. I will show you a rubber base. Let me just get that out now. Okay, it's thicker in viscosity, and it's more like sculpting gel or hard gel. So it's similar to sculpting with hard gel or soft gel. You can get ones that can be soaked off. So in other words, you can soak off and others need to be buffed off. So hard gel would need to be buffed off. Okay. Base coats promote and strengthen the natural nail from overfiling the nail plate. So it's always important to have a base coat. Also, the base coat is like a guideline for whatever product you're going to put on top. Wherever you've applied that gel, that's where it's going to stop. It's not going to, if you apply your base coat and it runs into your cuticle area, please believe you me, your colored gel and whatever you're going to apply on top is going to do exactly the same thing. So make sure your base coat is applied correctly, all right, for longer lasting. So it's very, very important to use the right base gel. As I was saying earlier, if a client's got a very flexible nail, you are going to use a softer, flexible gel as a base. If she's very hard on her nails, you're going to maybe use a rubber base on her natural nails as an overlay, or you're going to use a hard gel on her overlay. So very, very important to choose the right product for the right person. Okay. So the key to applying the correct base gel for natural nail overlays, soft short nails will need a soft gel, which is a flexible base gel. An overlay silk can be added to damaged short nail. Medium natural nails with a bit of a free edge would require a medium gel. So a bit of a free edge, you would need a medium gel. So that's a medium viscosity. All right. Harder gels, it doesn't self-level, so a thicker viscosity doesn't self-level as well as a softer gel. Okay, natural long nails will require a hard gel, rubber base, or to support the length of the natural nails. Very, very important. Okay, so the length on my nail was a medium length. So I've used a medium gel on my natural nail. Okay, so healthy needs protection. So you need to protect those nails. Soft short nails need flexibility. Strong short nails need a more solid base. Sensitive short nails need more of a solid foundation. So a very sensitive base nail, maybe a rubber base would work. Damaged short nails would need more of a solid foundation. Bitten nails need a short extension. So you don't want to go and remember the amount of product that you're balancing on top of the nail. If you've got a very short nail bed, whatever you're going to apply, you haven't got enough nail real estate to apply a product to, because the nail bed is so short. So never apply a very long nail extension on a very short nail bed because it's not going to hold out. All right. Medium type nails. So a medium type nails, that is for a bit of a tip that's growing over the free edge. You would use a medium viscosity gel for that nail. Healthy extreme length nails require a solid base as a foundation. Soft medium length nails require a flexible foundation with a hard overlay. Strong medium length nails require a hard gel foundation, so a strong medium nail. Sensitive medium length nails require protection with a medium flexible gel base and overlay. Damaged medium length nails require a flexible base with a hard gel overlay. All right, so long nails again, you would use your hybrid gels or your acrylic or your hard gels. Healthy long nails will require protection with a medium based gel and a hard gel overlay. A soft long nail requires a flexible base coat with a flexible gel overlay. All right. So these are important. Sensitive, remember they're in your manual. All right. So if you need to check, just check in your manual. Sensitive long nails require protection with a flexible gel base and a hard gel overlay. Okay. Damaged long nails would require a silk overlay with a hard gel overlay. Strong natural nails would require a solid hard foundation with a hard overlay. Okay, so we are going to now look at silk repairs and fiberglass repairs. But before we carry on, let me just show you and finish off this nail. We are going to do so we've got 2 coats on here, and we are going to be applying a top coat to that nail to finish it off. So I haven't removed the sticky residue from that nail. When I use my brush, I wipe the one side of the brush, so you've got more gel on the other side. I'm going to apply the base gel, the top coat, exactly the same way that I've applied the gel polish. And I'm just going to feather that down, and the light will tell me whether it is applied correctly or not. Okay, I'm going to put that in the UV lamp. Remember I said to you I'm going to show you a rubber base, which is a medium viscosity, and as soon as this is out of the lamp, let me try and open this while it's in the lamp. So a rubber base, this can be soaked, so it's not a hard gel. Can you see it's not even dripping off the brush. It's much more, much thicker than your softer gels. So this base gel was an easy or flexible, very runny gel. This builder was slightly thicker, medium viscosity because my nails are a medium length. And this one here, you can see, is much thicker, much thicker. So I will show you with our French tips that we did earlier on, okay, how you would apply this rubber base. So we've applied the French tips. We don't need to blend in because we have a beautiful smile line and we don't need to blend that in. However, remember what I said was that the gel does not stick to a shiny surface, all right? So you're going to take that tip. Let me see if I've got this in here properly. Okay, we're going to line up that tip with the side walls. Look, I'm using my file. I'm taking it from one side and I'm flipping it over to the other side, okay? We are going to, with shaping, we're always going to straighten across the free edge, like that. Let me see if I can do it this way, not easy. Okay, so we are going to straighten across the free edge. Remember, if we're going to do a almond, we would cut off the corners. We would determine the middle of the nail, cut off that corner, and then file accordingly, or round the corners. This is dead straight, so we are going to round the one side. What we do to the other side, you've got to repeat on both sides, so to keep it the same. All right, so now what we're going to do is, because the gel's not going to stick to this area, we're just going to take our white block lightly over the whole nail so that it is not shiny. Then what we're going to do, we are going to do our Ultra Bond, but remember, never touch the plastic nail with your Ultra Bond. Okay, so we are just going to apply to the cuticle area the Ultra Bond, because that's going to create better adhesion to the natural nail. All right, and you can apply that to the free edge so that your gels don't lift. All right, so you can do that. Now we're going to take our rubber base. Okay, so now I have to do it this way. All right, so now I'm taking my rubber base and I am going to do a slip layer down the whole nail. Okay, we're doing a slip layer down the whole nail. Then I'm going to pick up a bigger bead. I'm going to plop it in the middle of the nail, and I'm going to circle around like I'm working in the air, and I'm bringing it up to that nail tip and lightly brushing it over the nail tip. All right, we've got to look at it from the side, so we don't have an apex at this point in time. If you look at it from the side, we are going to cure that in the UV lamp. All right, so we have to build the structure of that nail. Remember, a flat nail is not a strong nail, and we need a strong nail in order for it to last. Always clean your bottles in between your applications, because you don't want the gel to seep in everywhere. Gel does tend to seep, so make sure that you keep it in a dry area and your pots upright, because they do seep. So now that is curing in the UV lamp, and according to the manufacturer's instructions, that is 60 seconds. It varies from each product to each product, so always check with the manufacturer. Never just assume. You don't want to undercure a nail. It's better to maybe overcure a nail. Okay, so now you can see that nail is flat. Now we need to build our apex. So I'm going to, not wiping the nail, all right, no wiping. I'm going to pick up another bead. I'm going to drop that bead at the cuticle area. I'm pillowing it up to the cuticle like that, and I'm bringing it around, and I'm pillowing it all the way down to the free edge. All right, if we look at the nail from the side, you can then add another bead there just to create that upper arch. Make sure you cap the free edge. Let's do the other side. And now what is the video doing? Okay. Again, we're going to just, let me show you. We're going to run an arch. You can turn the finger upside down, because gravity will pull the gel down to the center of the nail, creating that apex for you. And we are going to cure that in the UV lamp. Very, very important is to avoid burning. You don't want a client's nails to burn. You could put their hands slightly in front of the lamp with it on before you apply the nail into the lamp. That prevents any burning. The longer the setting on the lamp is, the less chance there is of burning, because obviously the UV lamp, together with the chemicals, try to harden the product as quick as possible. And if there's a lot of product on the nail that it needs to cure, it's going to give a burning sensation. And you don't want that, because you don't want to create onycholysis. So make sure that you always, if you're not sure of the product, is to apply the hand directly in front of the lamp. Tell your client to put it in front of the lamp for a few seconds before putting it into the lamp, especially when you are building up apexes and things like that. You are using more gel, so it needs to cure that gel even more. So now we have a look at our nail. We have a bit of an apex. We can apply another layer if we wanted, just to make sure that that nail is super strong. Okay, there you can see we have our apex in place. Turn the finger upside down and cure. What we would be doing after this is we would be filing and refining the nail enhancement. The refining is very, very important as well. Okay, so now let's look at silk repairs and fiberglass repairs. So I have a training course as well showing you how to do fiberglass nails, which is a beautiful nail. When we started doing nails 40 years ago, the first product that was out there was acrylic, so we all trained in acrylic. And then fiberglass came out. And then only did gel come out. So in my days, we didn't even have gel. We were using predominantly acrylic and fiberglass. And now boats are made out of fiberglass. And fiberglass nails are quite nice and thin, thinner than acrylic. And I have some modules on how to do proper fiberglass and silk nails. In this case, in this particular module, this is about a nail repair. So a client comes in and she's got a cut in her nail, fiberglass. Let me just show you quickly. Let's just make me bigger again. Oh dear. Let's just see here. All right, so fiberglass, you get silk, which is a very fine material. And I'll show you the difference. Fiberglass, if you can see, is like little squares. All right. Now, if we look at silk, let me see if I've got silk here. There we go. So that's fiber. I prefer fiber. Silk is a very, very thin fabric. It's much thinner than the fiber. But what you would do to fix a crack in the nail, so let's say for argument's sake this client came back, let's make a crack in this nail. All right, let's make a crack in the nail. Where's my scissors? So let's say she comes back and she's got this big crack out of her nail. All right, so there's two things you can do. Either we're going to soak that nail off and reapply a new nail, or we're going to build it back on again. All right. So what you could do is I'm going to apply my resin. Oops. Can you see this? I'm going to apply my resin to the entire nail. Fan it across. Like that, just so that we've got better adhesion. Or you could use a base gel. Alright. Then we are going to take our fiber and we are going to apply it over the cracked area. We are going to then cut the excess off. That you are going to apply a small bead of your resin to that area like that. You're going to let that dry and then you can apply your base gel or your builder on top of that. So while that's drying, you would then file that nail. As soon as that is dry, I will file it for you. Let me just give it another squirt because it's not dry yet. You can see from the UV light how this is actually turned yellow. Can you see? It's actually turned yellow. Almost more of a, you see products vary again. It's obviously more of the natural look, is you want that sort of yellowy look. So always check your products as well. Another thing is, if you use a top coat with a UV protectant in it, it can also change the color of the gel polish. So, like if you put a UV top coat over a black gel polish, that black is going to look more blue because of the UV in the actual top coat. Okay, so now let me just show you, I am going to file that straight over there. Okay, I'm then going to take my white block again, lightly buff over the whole area. So this is just a quick, easy way. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a slip layer of our rubber base. And I'm going to just apply a thicker amount here where we needed to fill in that nail. Like that. And we're going to try our apex in there. And we're going to turn the thumb upside down. And then we are going to cure that thumb. I'm going to have to hold that for this thumb. Okay, so let's have a look now where we're at. So this is how you are going to do your fiber. So now I'm curing this. You can extend a free edge with fiber as well on a natural nail, which is actually a very, very nice thing to do. I can show you that as well. That's actually more advanced. We can always cover that in the advanced class, whereby we actually extend the natural nail with fiber or with silk. So one can do that. So have a look at, these are the steps, again, for your record, and they're in your training manual. All right, Gel Sculptors is also another part of our advanced training, whereby I will teach you how to use a form and how to sculpture with a gel with a form. And then we also have gel removal and hard gel maintenance. So let's just see what we have here so far. All right. So our hand, has come out of the lamp. Let me go into the bigger part here. Okay, it's come out of the lamp. This one here. And remember, we built it up. Now I'm going to wipe it with our cleansing solution. Let's wipe both of those nails. And we are going to just, we are just going to lightly buff on top of that with a 240 grit file. We've got some stuff on the file, like this. We are going to go down the side walls. Let me just, I'm making sure the side wall is straight, because we've built up that little bit there. And can you see it's like sticking to the skin? Normally it's easier to pull away from a natural client from the skin. So now I'm straightening my nail wall and my lower arch. The lower arch, okay? We're straightening the lower arch. And we're just making sure that that little gap is gone. Can you see? It's all gone and repaired. So you can literally repair any nail. And there we have it. We have a repair. Then this nail here, we just need to refine it. So we're going to straighten the walls. Straighten the wall. Let me see, you're not seeing me. Okay, wait a moment. We're going to straighten the walls. And we're going to buff down the sides. And you're going to make sure there's no highs and lows on the nail. Make sure it is flush all the way around the cuticle area. So that particular product landed up going quite yellow because it doesn't have a UV filter in it. So always check that, because if you've got a UV filter in it, it does change the color of the gel, especially a color on top of the nail. If you're having only plain clear nails, then a UV protectant for coloring, if a client goes on sunbeds and things like that, you would use a UV top gel. Okay, let's have a look now. Our light has just gone off. Okay, let's see. We are nearly done. Let's have a look. All right, so gel removal. So when we remove our nails, you can buy there's a machine. It's a soaking machine, and it looks like this. And you would fill it with acetone and plug it in, and it would warm up the acetone. And you would just put your fingers in like this, and you would soak it for 20 minutes. If it's acrylic, half an hour. Depends on what you've got. If it's just a gel polish with just 3 little coats, it should be quite a lot quicker. And you would have to buff off the top layer, the top coat. So if you are going to be soaking off the nail, there's another way of doing it. And that would be, let me make me bigger again so that you can see me. So you can keep a Tupperware box like this. And inside, you would have your foils. So I buy the ready-made cut-up foils, like that. All right. And then I've got these little thingies, which is quite cute. I then take a bit of cotton wool, and I'm going to saturate that in the acetone. I'm going to take my file, and I'm going to buff the top coat on top of that, because otherwise it's not going to seep through. So I'm going to buff the top coat like that so that the acetone can penetrate. I'm then going to apply the acetone onto my finger. I'm going to fold it over like a little sandwich. It's hard to do on myself, guys, but let me just try. We're going to fold it over like that. I can put this on top so that I can still use my hand, and I would sit there for say 20 minutes or so. As it starts melting, you can scrape away the excess. All right. So 2 ways of doing this is you can either get a machine like this, which would warm up the acetone, and you would put your hands in there, or you could get a bowl, put the acetone in the bowl, take another bigger bowl with hot water in, and put that bowl into the hot water, and then apply the fingers to that. That is another way of soaking off. The key to soaking off is to try and remove as much of the product on top of the nail before you soak off, because otherwise it does take very, very long, And a lot of people in today's time don't have time for sitting for so long to have their nails done. Hello. We had a bit of a power outage, so I'm back online. So let's just recap with regards to gel removal. It's always important to remove the top layer. And the more you rebuff off on the top, the quicker the soak will be. All right, now let's look at our hard gel maintenance. Okay, we're going to push back the cuticles, buff off the colored gel. So this is hard gel because we're not going to be, remember, hard gel can't be buffed off. All right. So, I mean, hard gel can't be soaked off. So you can't soak off the hard gel, but you can, so you'd have to buff off or e-file off the colored gel to do the application, to do the fill. A normal soft gel, you could just soak off the entire gel application and reapply. I prefer a hard gel because I'm not soaking off, putting on, soaking off, putting on. I prefer to use a hard gel whereby I just remove the colored gel by buffing and removing that and then just filling the natural nail. So I don't have to soak off all the time. And I feel that it's much quicker than sitting and having to soak off all the time. So you'd have to basically, if you're going to do a full exactly like I showed you just now, you would push back the cuticles, buff off any lifting, proceed with your preparation, apply a fresh overlay to the natural nail, make sure not to apply too thick, buff and refine to the desired shape and thickness required, proceed with color, or top coat. It is not advisable to remove all the product from the natural nail as one would not want to overfile the natural nail. Very, very important. So, how to grow off your nail enhancement. Remember I was telling you it's like putting a plaster on the skin and there's not in the excess moisture can't evaporate. So it's the same with your nails. When you've got a coating on top of your nails, the nail underneath becomes very, very soft. Because of the trapped moisture that's in the nail itself. So I don't advocate to just take them off because obviously the nail is going to be very soft underneath. I would, if I was going to remove it, I would then just do a slight overlay on the natural nail, remove the product, do a slight overlay, and grow that overlay off. So that would be the way that I would go about. Remember, it takes about 6 months for the entire nail plate to grow out. And I would say probably within 3 months, if it's a short nail, you should be well on your way to having your own natural nails. When you protect your own nails, it's like a permanent nail hardener, which then helps to keep your nail intact. It helps to keep all the nails the same length. So that is very, very important as well, so that you don't have one long, one short, and it always looks aesthetically more elegant and more appealing. So as you know, water is one of our greatest enemies when it comes to nails. So if you do use nail strengtheners, that needs to be applied on a daily basis and then taking off and putting on, whereas a permanent gel overlay is a much better solution to that problem. Not everyone has beautiful, strong nails, and it's all determined on your health as well, and what your lifestyle is all about. Some people are blessed with good hair and good nails. Some people are blessed with bad nails, good hair, and vice versa. The beauty extensions allows everyone to have beautiful nails. That is the beauty of, and I suppose that's why being an old nail biter and being a beauty therapist, I was very embarrassed about my nails. And that is how I landed up going straight into nails and specializing in nail technology and courses. So a person that has got normal good nails and decides to apply nail enhancements to their natural nail, the best way to grow off the extension is to file the length of the nail, and the amount of product on the natural nail is then balanced as the heaviness on the free edge causes the nail to break in the stress area. So in other words, what I'm saying here is once your nail grows out, the amount of product that is on the free edge to the amount that's on the nail bed. So if the amount is greater or smaller, your stress areas are going to be hindered and you will crack the nail on the side. So it's important to help your client to grow it off. So you would take the length down to the amount that's on the nail bed, all right, and slowly grow it out, and then you can start using your normal nail hardeners, polishes and things like that if you require. All right. Always remember to shorten the nails. Then we have our gel nail aftercare, which is vital because your hands are exposed to so many chemicals and to water. We bath every day, or so you do need to take care of your nails. The best thing is to use an oil every single night to rub it into your cuticles at night. It keeps the nail more pliable, not so porous, and it helps to prolong the wear of the nails. If you are going to be doing gardening or dishes, wear gloves. Be aware of insect repellent or sun creams because the chemical reaction can turn the nails into, make them very yellow, or it can cause lifting. Moisturize your nails and hands daily. For dry nails, it's great to do a paraffin dip, or to do an oil bath. And remember, if you go for tints and perms, you need to moisturize with the same with your nails as you would with your hair. So if you're going for regular highlights and regular tinting, you need to put a lot of conditioner in and make sure that your hair is well looked after. Well, we're at the end of module 7. Our next module will be troubleshooting. And remember, if you want to learn how to do sculpting, just let me know in the comments, and I can try and make that happen for you. Also, I do offer one-on-one lessons as well. So give me a shout, and I will see you soon. See you in the next one. Bye for now.